This is Snake. Can you hear me? Good. The mission is simple. Put your geek pants on and infiltrate Foxhound. If you need backup, contact Ken and Chris on their codec frequency. Ready? Snake out.
Hey there, Geek Pantsers!
There it is.
Coming to hear us talk about movies.
Or movie in this situation.
Yeah, one time in a few times we talk about one movie.
One
only.
singular movie, though. I'm sure we'll talk about other ones in between there.
Well, yeah. I mean, obviously, and there'll be some wrestling rants, of course.
My leg's looking good.
Yeah, you know, you've been getting some of that, what do they call it? Definition. And then there's this.
Also, definition. Yeah.
Anyway, actually,
Pop my arm out.
Speaking of which, I am down 10 pounds now.
Congratulations.
Yep, I lost the final pounds.
You and your dog. What's going on? You guys on the same diet?
No, but because I'm more active, I'm more active with him.
Makes sense.
Because, of course, now it's not like play for 2 minutes and then I need a nap.
Right.
Right? And that was actually for a while there. I would work and then I would come home and I would lie down. And, like, you know, a lot of it is sinuses and stuff too. But the other part was just trucking around an extra bunch of weight for a period of time. And I was like, Jesus Christ. Like, now I'm not napping nearly as much at all. Well, I'm not napping nearly as much, but I still get the sinus pain. So there are times I'm just like, I'm upstairs.
I'm out.
If I fall asleep, I fall asleep. Like, you know, it is what it is. But yeah, so I'm down 10. I've got approximately 15 more to go to hit my goal. But like I said to my wife, it's like, but I don't know. Like, I might lose another 5 and be happy there.
Yeah.
Or I might lose another 10 and be happy there. Oh, who knows?
Might lose 10 and then put on 10 of just sheer muscle.
Well, that's the other thing is, like, I'm not just
shredded.
I'm not just losing weight, though, because I'm not just doing nothing but cardio and diet. It's just, that's part of it, but I'm also doing, like, calisthenics, so I'm not necessarily trying to gain muscle, but at the same time, not trying to lose muscle. That's the main thing.
Right.
Yeah. You know, so basically, like, I could look like Jackie Chan in his prime.
That'd be sweet.
But
can you move like Jackie Chan in his prime?
Not quite.
You'll get there.
Not even at his age and my age.
You'll get there. You'll be jumping off your roof before you know it.
That's what I'm like with all the mobility stuff. That's kind of the goal. The goal is to be like that 70-year-old doing parkour. Parkour. Yeah. You know, so that like other 70-year-olds are like, I don't know what Chris is doing, but I saw him do a backflip and then another backflip.
And he nailed it.
And he landed in the splits.
Yeah.
But
we're sitting here at the mall watching young girls. Chris is doing parkour.
Yeah, doing parkour. Well, because at that point, I guess I shouldn't say this because I don't know if Michelle wants to, but at some point we'd have kids, right?
Yeah.
Ideally, they would be around 30 at that time.
Right.
Depending on if and when we have them.
True. They'd be human too.
Yeah, exactly. A human baby.
Plus.
Like a human baby.
Yeah, a human baby. Like a real child.
Real live human baby.
A real child.
Not like an alien baby.
Not an alien baby.
Or like a baby that you can't explain.
Right.
Because like Michelle and I are both super white.
Yeah.
Baby comes out a different color. Like, how do you explain that?
Well, she might have trouble.
Why? Like, for what reason?
Well, baby comes out a different color, and you're as white as they can be.
Huh.
Weird.
Jesus Christ, Hank, those kids' dicks are bigger than those sausages. That's the line. That's the line from Me, Myself, and Irene.
Love that
One
movie.
of the greatest Jim Carrey movies ever.
Doesn't
get the respect it deserves, though.
It really doesn't. I love that movie.
I
can watch
still
that
love
movie
that movie.
all the time.
I forgot how much I loved that movie until this is a couple years ago too. Ryan and Stacy were over at our place, and it was one of those like, yeah, we'll watch a movie, listen to whatever, and we went through Netflix, and immediately me, myself, and Irene came up, and it was like, oh, let's watch that. And I think Michelle was like, I don't think I've ever seen that. And of course, like me and Ryan are already like, oh my god. And then yeah, well, you're totally gonna watch this. Yeah. You're totally gonna watch this. And yeah, like within like 5 minutes, I was like, yep, I remember how much I love this one.
It's fantastic.
Like when they
it's
bang,
so fucking good.
and he finds the dildo, and he's like, I guess Hank wasn't enough for it. He's like, oh, that wasn't for me. Oh! Oh!
As soon as he gets out of bed, goes and pisses him.
Why am I being like I was up all night having sex? You don't remember?
Oh man, I love that movie so much. But both of them, like both his split personalities, are so good.
Four Eyes. Yeah. Well, I agree. Like I love it when they're watching with the babies. He's watching like when they're kids and it's Richard Pryor.
Yeah.
Or no, it was Eddie Murphy. That's right. And then they flash forward, and then it's Chris Rock, and he's like, he's a funny motherfucker. And then, of course, she's being incredulous as to how she left with a black midget.
Yeah.
Both kids are black or all three kids are black as fuck. Like, super black.
Huge and black.
Huge black.
They're all on the couch, and you just see his little white face in between them.
Such a great movie.
Oh, man. Vagisil. What's the matter? You got a little extra cheese in the taco?
So anyway, our Camcast today is about me, myself, and Irene. Seminal classic. Written and directed by the Farrelly brothers. Starring Jim Carrey and a bunch of other people that I can't recall at the moment.
Oh, Renee Zellweger.
Oh, right. Renee Zellweger. That was right. That was before she got her new face.
That would be Irene.
Long before she got her new face.
Yes.
And then...
great cast, though.
Great cast from what I can recall.
Anthony Anderson was one of the three sons, right?
Yes, he was. Yes, he was. Yeah.
God damn, I love that movie.
Yeah. Fucking priceless.
Fucking priceless.
Anyway, so the wrestling bit was because we've been talking about CM Punk lately, so I'm just gonna say for the record, congratulations, Punk. You worked me. You got me. I had a feeling it was a work, but my own personal prejudices against the way Punk is now.
You wouldn't know, right?
Infected me because I was just like, fuck. Like, it made him sound like a prima donna. The whole works. When the whole thing was really just to build up anticipation.
Meanwhile, ticket sales aren't that hot.
Hold on.
Chicago sold out.
But
everywhere else,
Chicago,
all the other places are
gangbusters, just but everywhere else. And you know what? I think it could also just be exhaustion too. Yeah. Because that Punk shit was on like 24/7 for a good chunk where you're just like, is he? Will he? Ace Steel? Is he already working?
It's been a year, right?
Is he on TV?
So it's like a whole year of this going back and forth.
I don't think it's been that long, has it?
Since he left? It was last summer, wasn't it? So it's got to be close to a year.
Okay. Although I did find it funny that Jim Cornette. Yeah. And it's just like the heading was he's gonna retire in WWE. And I was like, clicked on it, and it was literally, he was like, CM Punk is gonna do he'll do the rest of his contract in AEW, but the whole purpose of this is just to retire in WWE.
100%.
For that big, huge paycheck.
100%.
But the weird part, though, is like, unless the higher-ups look at it and go, no, we need CM Punk, Vince is not going to take him back.
How much longer is on his contract?
I think he's got, as far as I know, it might be just another year.
Okay.
Because, like, I believe he had a standard 3-year contract.
Gives Vince a year to die.
Yeah, but you know what's weird?
He did a lot of roids. That body has gone through a lot.
But here's the most ironic part, though. It seems like if you're old, but you have money, and you've filled your heart and soul with hate, you tend to live a lot longer.
Mhm.
Like, obviously, the money helps with the healthcare and
Yep.
and all that other
Get the best health care.
fun shit.
You get stress, but it's a different type of stress.
Yeah, exactly.
Money stress, that's a bad stress.
Yeah, you get like stress of like oh geez, what am I gonna spend all my millions of dollars on?
Yeah.
Like, and I would love to have that kind of stress.
Mm.
You know, what jet am I gonna take
Today.
to go to Saudi Arabia for my $20 million paycheck for one fucking pay-per-view? Right? Like,
I could see Vince letting him come back. I mean, if Brett and Vince can make up, then I think it could happen.
yeah, but the
I
Brett
think it
stuff,
happened.
the more and more, if you really think about it, the more and more that I think about it, the more I go, there's absolutely no way that the Montreal Screwjob was not a work.
You think so?
I'm starting to. I've been thinking about it for the last couple of years now, and because the more we talk about like internet and like Kevin Nash and all, it's more and more. It's starting to sound like who was the hottest free agent? Bret Hart.
Yeah.
Okay, because of all of that, he would have gone into WCW, huge mega babyface star. Just WCW didn't know what the fuck they were doing. They didn't know what they had.
Nope.
They didn't know what the fuck they were doing.
No idea.
And like for even Bischoff was like, for him to say things like, well, after Owen died, it kind of took the wind out of his sails. It's like, no shit.
Imagine that.
His brother died in like one of the most horrifying ways possible, and then that company continued to run the show like nothing happened. Yeah, that would take a couple of wind out of my sails. But regardless,
just a tad.
But huge. He should have been an over babyface.
Yep.
Right. But then on top of that, the flip side is we also had all the eyes on WWF. Vince became Vince McMahon, Vincent Kennedy McMahon, the heel boss.
Yep.
Leaned into that. So what happened? Well, DX was mega stars. Shawn was always a mega heel at that point.
Yep.
Right? Then you've got the Vince McMahon character. Of course, you've got Austin, which crazily enough is becoming more and more of a babyface as we get.
Yep.
Right? And there's just like blockbuster smash. You've got The Rock slowly becoming The Rock. Like at that point, he just started calling himself The Rock. Started doing his promos, and now he's starting to climb. Like,
Taker's storylines were on fire. You know, Kane came in.
It's like, what?
Mankind was huge.
Like, holy fuck.
Yeah, they were on fire. They were on fire. They had all these guys that were essentially nobodies a year ago just blow up. Meanwhile, WCW's got all of Vince's original creations.
Yeah, exactly. With a couple of their own.
Scattered in there.
Like say what you will, but Goldberg was a fucking megastar.
Oh yeah.
And up until he lost the belt, was pushed pretty good. Probably pitch perfect, I would say.
Yep.
I will agree with Nash though. Like, I mean, at some point he would have had to lose the belt because he would also have to start the chase again. Right. And of course, the idea, take the belt off him and then line up NWO guys in front of him so he can knock them off to go back up. Well, there you go. You get another undefeated streak unofficially to where you go. But okay. All right. Now, very few people talk about this though, but DDP, huge homegrown WCW star, and such a fucking, like, I was a huge fan.
And he started late in life.
I was such a huge fan of DDP. Like, when he came out, because Booker T's another one. Booker T's another one. Benoit, although Benoit got stratospheric.
Your radicals.
But, you know, like, he was another one that, like, everyone was saying, like, Benoit's a catch. Like, even all the other radicals were like, if you don't take us, at least take Chris. All of them. Dean Malenko, Eddie Guerrero, even Shane Douglas, even though they were like, yeah, we're not with him.
Yeah.
Perry Saturn, same thing. All of those, like, you could take all of us, but if not, just take him. So he was already, like, obviously, like, people were talking about him, right? But Jericho's another homegrown, same page. Eddie Guerrero's another one.
Yep.
Rey Mysterio.
Yep.
You know, like, okay, yeah, a bunch of these guys cut their teeth in ECW and abroad, but WCW was the main.
WCW is where their names became recognized.
Yeah, that's
and then once they got on Vince's radar,
yeah,
Big Show, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Giant.
Yeah. Although Big Show was pretty. He was almost all immediately shot to the top.
Oh yeah.
Almost, but I mean,
well, he came in being Vince's like guy.
I meant in WCW.
Oh, WCW. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, they
Yeah.
pushed him as Andre's son. That was
Well, I mean,
he's tall. He's got to be from that sperm bank.
And he could do a moonsault.
You could do,
but he was also much lighter. Like that's the other thing. Like when you see early, when you see early ones, you're like, oh fuck.
Yeah, he was thin.
Yeah.
Then he just blew up.
Yeah. Well. Yeah. You're at the top of the card at WCW.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, like what the fuck was it? There would be like Hogan would have like 4 promos, and it would be like 9 o'clock promo. Like when it started, he'd do a promo, then he'd go back, crush a couple beers. Go back out, do another promo, crush a couple beers, and then they'd like do a schmoz at the end, and another promo. And he's just fucking crushing beers all night. Like, okay, and that's what that Kevin Nash said that too. He's like, yeah, we were always in Hogan's locker because Hogan's locker could have beer, like he could have drinks. Because what are you gonna tell Hogan? You tell Hogan you can't have fucking beer in here? No. So we brought our coolers in and. Nobody said shit because you're in. So I was like, okay. Anyway, so getting back to
that makes sense.
Look, getting back to Punk though. In all honesty, at the end of the day, yeah, Vince is all about money.
Yeah.
Okay,
yeah.
But Vince is also unbelievably petty, and especially for the guy that fired Punk on his birthday or on his wedding day.
Yeah, that was dirty. But so if Punk's the one coming by and showing off apologies.
Yeah, but I think that was before Vince officially was like, "No, I'm back, bitches." Like, yeah, like he was there, but it wasn't. But now he's like swinging his dick around. It's like, and it was also.
I'm saying he's 100% coming back. I mean, Punk coming back for a year and then going into the Hall of Fame. That'd be huge.
Okay, it's one of those where I would be like mildly surprised.
Yeah.
I would be mildly surprised either way. If he didn't go back, or like if there was talk, but Vince put the kibosh, I'd be like, okay, yeah, I can kind of see that. But if he comes back, I'd be like, yeah, I can kind of see that. Because you never know.
Yeah.
You never know. And I mean, who knows? He might have enough. Actually, I still think that the fucking scrum damaged him enough that they might just go, nah, it's fucking. Because he was riding a huge wave.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
And so yeah, it's tough. It's tough to say for me personally. Personally, I do think that they'll say no to CM Punk unless this run is gangbusters. Like I know we're talking about ticket sales and all this stuff, but like unless it flips it and like when he's actually on, and then they can actually see an actual difference, and they turn it up and who knows? Then maybe, but I'm in the wait and see category where I don't think it's going to happen. But getting back to that, you got me, Punk. You worked me. You, Tony Khan, you fucking worked me. You got me good.
All of us, I think.
Yeah.
Except probably Jim Cornette because he knows everything.
Wow. Cornette's Cornette.
Yeah, it's a tennis racket.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. Well, I gotta say, like he does have he still has a pretty good mind, even though like there are aspects where it's like it's dated. Like, because he's such an old schooler.
It's dated.
Like when he shits on Kenny Omega, he's shitting on Kenny Omega because Kenny Omega exposed the business.
Right.
Right. Where it's like he exposed the business that's been exposed for how many years now? Mm-hmm. Since Vince exposed it.
It's been exposed forever. He's just your easiest target.
Yeah. And that's the thing. Like, so if he's shit talking Omega, then people are clicking on him,
right,
to hear him shit talk Omega, right? Mm-hmm. So it's just it's the whole thing,
it's
right?
A vicious circle.
But it's like but even he'll shit talk his wrestling and his psychology, and I'm like, how could you do that? Because wrestling is incredible.
Yeah.
Like period. Even now, even still, and he's like older, and he's not wrestling the same high profile style that he was wrestling 6-7 years ago, but still. He's one of the best in the business right now. But his psychology is unparalleled. Like, holy fuck. Yeah. But, okay. All right. Whatever. As far as that goes, that's pretty much it for the wrestling, unless you have anything.
Well, we lost the Iron Sheik.
Right. We did. And I swear to God, my reaction was, I'm amazed he lived this long.
Yeah, 81? Is that what it was?
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm going to miss his Twitter account. His Twitter account.
Oh yeah, well, I saw enough of it where I'm like, this is fucking unreal.
Dude, I'd look at that once a week and just die laughing at shit.
This is one of the things that, for not being on Twitter,
yeah,
I never got into, but I would see clips from time to time.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Like when he was like ripping apart Hogan, and it was
always rips apart
like,
Hogan on holidays.
I'm gonna fuck you in your pussy asshole or something like that. It's just like nonsensical jargon, but it's horrible.
Every single one was fuck.
Yeah.
Happy Mother's Day and fuck you, Hulk Hogan.
That's a good one.
That was his Mother's Day tweet.
That's actually a good one. That is a good one. I really like that one. Happy Mother's Day and fuck you, Hulk Hogan. Hey, you know what? Fucking Hulk Hogan's a piece of shit.
He is.
And it's not even like Hulk Hogan, the character, is a piece of shit.
Yeah.
He himself is a piece
Terry
of shit.
Bollea.
Yeah, exactly. It's that he was rich for so long, was able to do whatever he wanted for so long.
Yep. And
then it was like, well, okay, but you're a piece of shit. You
never say no to a kid. You're gonna have a spoiled kid when they grow up.
Well, it's not even that. It's
so what's Hogan? Hogan got yes all the time.
The phone call with his son when his son killed that kid.
Yeah,
in a car accident, and it wasn't like, yeah, but like it was okay. Well, we'll get you out of this. Don't you worry. And it's like his friend died, and of course, like he didn't seem to give a shit that his friend died. He was he was pissed off that he was in trouble. But anyway. But yeah. So we did lose the Iron Sheik, and yeah.
R.I.P. Sheik.
Yeah, well,
a lot of losses this year so far.
Well, I mean, it's life. The longer we live, the more people we got to say goodbye to.
It's true. It's true. I remember when my parents were in their 40s and like all their favorite celebs are dying off.
Yeah.
That they grew up with.
Yeah.
And I was like, fuck yeah. Well, here we go.
Yeah.
Here's the ride.
Yeah, exactly.
It's gonna be a nasty couple
of
years.
So getting back to that kind of thing, like. So, I mean, they have to do John Wick 5.
Yeah.
Get that in as quickly as possible because you never know.
You never know.
I'm not going to suggest that Keanu Reeves will die, but he'll just transcend this mortal plane.
Absolutely.
He'll ascend, in fact.
Yeah.
Yeah. So.
Amen. Well, wherever Tom Cruise goes.
He'll also ascend, but
whatever.
Xenu or whatever whatever the fucking afterlife for them.
He'll become a character in Battlefield Earth. Yeah.
But it is sad to see the Iron Sheik go. I
was
against
sad.
him.
I was sad about that because like it must have been sudden because like his tweets. He's been rest in peace, Tina Turner. I love your music, and like right up to like 5 days before he passed.
Unless he wasn't actually tweeting him, and it was someone else tweeting for him.
It's true.
Like actually, no, he might have been like dictating his tweets.
I kind of think it was because there was no periods or anything ever. It was just like in all caps.
Well, or Chat GPT.
Or that. The Sheik is just some AI.
It figured it just hung out with him for long enough that figured out his vernacular,
artificial
his
Iron
cadence,
Sheik,
and all this shit. Yeah. But yeah, so we did lose him, and that was unfortunate. But
as for other wrestling talk, because I don't think we've really touched on this, Seth is champ.
Yep.
Which we saw coming from a mile away.
Yeah, but to be fair though, whoever it was, whether it was AJ or Seth, like I was saying, we were both saying it was Seth's to lose.
Yeah.
But if Seth lost to AJ Styles, I'd be like, okay, but at the same time, fucking rights AJ Styles.
Yeah, I'd be fucking fun. I'd be like kind of confused if you just went to SmackDown or you're the Rush.
Yeah, exactly. But at that point, you're just kind of like, whatever, the match will be amazing. And of course, it was. It was absolutely amazing.
Crazy good match. So you did watch some of the Saudi stuff.
No, I'm saying when I say it's an amazing match, I heard it.
Oh, okay,
gotcha. It was an amazing match.
Gotcha.
I apologize for not being clear, but no, I didn't watch anything. No highlights either.
Oh, look at you.
Unless it's on the TV. Like
I'm weak. I'll watch that shit.
It's not even.
I won't pay to support it, but I'll check out the clips.
Yeah, it's funny because like I'm technically paying to support it because of the monthly fee that I pay for it.
Yeah.
So it's not like a financial stand against it. It's just I just don't want to watch it. I don't agree with using this as a platform to whitewash the Saudis for the rest of the world when it's like they're still like even right now they could just open fire on people and
Oh yeah.
they go like, "Hey, that's not cool," and they'll be like, "Here's a whole bunch of billions of dollars," and most people go, "Actually, that's kind of cool. I didn't really like that guy that you killed anyway. What was his name? I don't even know who the fuck
no big deal.
he was. Let's play golf, PGA Tour, bitches."
I really watched the clips to see the reaction to Sam, which was awesome to see.
Mm-hmm.
Crowd blew up for him, but just that little diary thing he did too, walking around.
Yeah, I wanted to watch that too, but it's like I said, it puts me in a tough spot.
Yeah.
But like I'm also the same kind of guy that like it's fun. It's like it doesn't mean anything. But I refuse to watch The Wolf of Wall Street because I hate Jordan Belfort. Like I can't stand that. Like he made money, good for him.
Yep.
And but he did it in like he lied, cheated, and stole his entire way.
Shitty way.
And then when he went to jail, he came out and nothing changed. He sold his story. They glamorized the fact that he was a liar, cheater, a stealer.
Yep.
And now he's a celebrity for being a fucking horrible person. Okay.
Yep.
Good for you. But yeah, so even though I've heard the movie's amazing, I'm sure it is because it's Scorsese.
Yeah, it's all right.
It's
way too long.
Cast is stacked.
But nevertheless, you can't say it doesn't mean anything because it means something to you, right?
Well, I guess I meant like in the grand scheme of things. Like, it's not like if even just me saying that, it's not like other people going like, "Oh, you know what? Yeah, you're right. Maybe I won't support that."
Yeah.
Yeah,
and then that means nothing.
Yeah.
Unless they agree with your idea on it. But...
And but at the same time, like I don't normally support based on true event movies, depending on the terminology, like depending on what it is. So like when I was watching the Dahmer Netflix Dahmer thing.
I didn't watch Dahmer.
I watched it.
I love Evan Peters, but
it was one of those where like I started to feel skeevy towards the end because even though like it is heavily dramatized and some of the things that happen in the movie or in the miniseries didn't happen in real life and they kind of changed things around, it was still just like we're dealing with like it still happened.
Oh yeah,
this guy still killed all these people.
I can watch a documentary on a killer. I can watch movies about fictional killers.
Exactly.
But when it's a movie about a real killer and
that's where it gets hard. I can't.
This glorified spotlight on these poor victims that die for shitty reasons.
Yeah,
I can't get behind that.
I can't either. I can't either, and I'm in the same boat. And documentaries all day long.
Oh yeah, I'll watch a Dahmer doc.
Hell
yeah,
I'll watch movies that are clearly based off like most of the like 60s, 70s, and 80s are all loosely based on Ed Gein in some way, shape, or form.
Yeah.
Like but yeah, in fact, Halloween. Texas Chainsaw Massacre, maybe not Halloween, but Texas Chainsaw Massacre and Psycho are two of the big ones that are literally like based off of Ed Gein's.
Yeah,
and you're like, okay, cool, okay. But if they made a movie about Ed Gein's, I'm not gonna watch that.
Yeah,
But it's so it puts me in a tough spot.
That's just like it's just the real world difference of it. Like Hannibal Lecter, fine.
Like exactly, like you said,
fictional killer.
Yeah, like you said, it's fictional.
I know these existing guys, probably did these same things, but this isn't about them. So
yeah, exactly. Okay, all right. So I think that's a. Oh, I will say this real funny. They make such a big deal about Roman Reigns' 1,000-day reign.
Yeah.
Plus, the new belt looks nice.
It looks decent.
I think it looks fine.
I saw a picture of like all the different styles of that same title. The Snoop Dogg's looks the best.
Snoop Dogg's does look the best. His does look the best. But I honestly think they should have just kept it with the blue.
Yeah.
The blue and blue and gold, maybe the blue and gold didn't work as well.
I don't like the fact that the emblem and everything is gold. I think the strap should have been gold. I think that would have made it stand out and look sharper.
Oh, yeah.
A gold strap.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah.
Yeah.
But the irony, though, Bianca Belair has like the longest reign of a women's champion in modern era.
Yeah.
Because you'll never touch Moolah.
No.
What is it, like 80 years?
Yeah.
And 40 of which were unchallenged.
It kind of helps when there's only like maybe 2 women around.
No, it was something ridiculous. It was like she had like a 30-year reign, but of course it was 30 years in between title fights too.
Yeah.
Because of course,
Yeah.
very few women. But anyway, so Bianca had like the longest reign period of the modern era, and it was kind of mentioned, like it wasn't mentioned in the same breath.
Yeah.
But Brian Alvarez raised a really good point where it's like Gunther's on the cusp of beating Honky Tonks.
Yeah.
And they're actually talking about having him beat Honky Tonks.
Oh, it's going to happen. It's 100%.
But then he's like, and then Belair and Roman, like everyone's got all these long reigns, so who gives a shit?
Mm-hmm.
And it's true. Like, they're with Gunther and Bianca, I'm like, yeah, fucking rights. Fucking rights. Do it. That's cool. And ironically, with Reigns, I'm like, I don't even care anymore.
Yeah. Well, I mean, fucking 3 years is a long time.
Yeah, it is.
And the way they're like playing it out, like, fuck, he's going to fight Jimmy now, and then he's going to fight Jay, and then he'll fight Sikoa, and then it'll be time for Cody again. And then he'll be, apparently, he's going to become a huge superhero babyface of the future. Read that one today, and I was like,
well, we'll see. We'll see what happens. I mean, the superhero babyface switch is going to be fairly easy.
That'll be easy, but then who's the super crazy villain that he's going to go up against?
Brock Lesnar.
Well, by the time this happens, Brock will probably be retiring.
But then again, there's always the Rock on the horizon.
Yeah, he could come in as Hollywood Rock again. That'd be awesome.
That would
be really cool.
That would be cool, because fuck, man. That's one of my favorite promos. That's one of my favorite promos where he comes out and they boo him.
Yeah.
And then he turns him around and they cheer the fuck out of him, and then he goes, "No, you don't get to cheer me. You don't get to cheer me at all. You were booing The Rock 2 seconds ago. Now you're cheering me? Shut the fuck up." And they immediately booed even harder than the first time. I was like, that's so great. Like, he just get the fuck out of my face. But anyway.
Shut the fuck up.
So, that's it for wrestling for me. Gunther, yes, I want him to break the record.
Yeah, I mean, he's close enough now.
I mean, in Reigns' defense, though, the story is still good enough that I'm watching it. Like, I'm not bored out of my skull. But I'm not as into it as I was up until WrestleMania. Yeah. Because I was all in.
The Sammy and then the Cody back to back really kind of just made you feel like, oh, fuck.
But the fact that Cody is not going to be in Money in the Bank, and they're talking about possibly having him win the Rumble again to challenge Reigns, I think that would probably, as long as Vince doesn't book the Rumble.
You can't book
the last 2 Rumbles have been, both women and men have been really good.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Really good. And like, those are when Vince has nothing to do with them. So it's like, keep doing it that way. Mm-hmm. But we'll see what happens.
I want LA Knight to win the Money in the Bank.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then grab that title off of IC title. I want him to be the guy that goes up against Gunther.
And takes it off him.
And takes it off Gunther. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I love Gunther, but LA Knight.
LA Knight.
I love LA Knight too. I think LA Knight is.
I love LA Knight.
LA Knight is so over that no matter what they do, that he's still over.
I just found out about him because I don't really follow NXT, so like I didn't really find out about him until I was following Wyatt's return.
That's exactly it. Yeah.
And then here's LA Knight. I was like, this guy's fucking awesome.
Well, so LA Knight and NXT is not the same as the LA Knight that we got here. LA Knight in NXT was more of your standard heel.
Okay.
Still really good, still great on the mic.
Yeah.
He fucked over Cameron Grimes for the $1 million title.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. But although Cameron Grimes is another one to keep your eye on.
Yeah.
He's fucking really good. And his character work is fucking on point.
Well, he had that first match on Raw, and I haven't seen him since. Is he?
No, they're kind of continuing the story.
Oh, are they?
Yeah,
okay.
Yeah. But anyway, with LA Knight, it was when they switched him back from Max Dupree to LA Knight, then I think they were just kind of like, we don't know what to do with him. So he was just like, I'm going to just do whatever the fuck I want and see what happens. Mm-hmm. They gave him a mic. He did it.
Yeah.
He said, yeah. People did what everyone does. He was smart because they went, yeah, after he said it. He was like, okay, I keep doing that one.
Yeah.
It's fucking so great.
He threw Rock and Austin in a blender and made himself.
Exactly. Exactly.
I love it.
Although the way he speaks, like that Rock voice,
oh yeah,
it's him.
Oh, it's him.
I watched a video where he talked about it. He's like,
everybody thinks I sound like The Rock.
And he's like, that's my voice. Yeah. Because he was on The Rock's
Yeah.
Gladiators type show or whatever,
Mm.
and that was it. And I thought he was doing an impression, and he really wasn't. I was just like, man, that's fucking
That's just
funny.
my voice.
Eli Drake
What?
made his name in TNA.
Yeah.
Impact guy. But yeah, I want him to get at least one run with a title.
A title. I don't
You
think
know?
it's gonna be the world because
It
both
won't be
worlds
the world,
they're
but
so jam packed.
if he's the guy, like, it's what, 3 months? 3 months until Gunther breaks the streak, breaks
Yep.
the run. So about 2 to
Yep.
3 months. So yeah, by that time it's perfect to get LA Knight to the point where he can fucking cash
Who's
it
the
in.
U.S. champ right now?
Austin Theory.
Honestly, or it could be him too.
Could be him, but Austin's looks like he's getting a bit of a stable going with Pretty Deadly,
Yeah.
which is perfect. Perfect. Pretty Deadly is another tag team you gotta watch. Like, they're
Yeah.
a tag team, so they're also really good. Their character work is on point. They know what they're doing. They know what
Yep.
the character is. But yeah, I think that would. You know, I would almost put the Miz in that group and have him kind of be like the mentor leader type of thing.
Oh yeah, that would be
The
good.
fucking heat would be off the charts,
Mhm.
all 4 of them. But it would be kind of nice to have Austin with a little bit of a program for himself where he can stand with those guys
Yeah.
and hide behind them, of course, and be a chick heel,
Yeah.
but also act tough all the time. But yeah, but he's got the US. Honestly, if LA Knight took it off of Austin Theory, I'd be okay with that. I'd have no
I'd be
issues
good
with
with
that at all.
I would be.
I'd almost rather he
I'm just
takes it
thinking
off.
because he's on SmackDown, right?
Yeah.
Right? So I mean, that would make more sense.
I'm almost
than
thinking I'd
Gunther.
rather him do it because, like, Gunther is just on the cusp of becoming their monster heel.
Yeah.
Like, there's talk now. Apparently, Vince is now on board with having him be their big heel.
There's your villain for Reigns. Oh,
yeah,
yes.
Oh yeah.
Gunther and Reigns.
Oh yeah. And then you can just have his collar come up.
Yeah. Oh, that's good. That's good shit right there.
That is good shit.
That's good
Good
shit.
shit.
That's good shit.
Finally, thing I'll say about wrestling, and then we'll wrap it up because you mentioned Seth Rollins though, banger with Damian Priest.
Yeah. Oh, that was a great match.
Upcoming Monday, it's him and Finn Balor.
Yeah.
It's already going to be a banger.
Yeah.
It's going to be a fucking banger. It's going to be great. He's working a mini program with them. It's great.
Kind of looks like they're teasing a little bit of a breakup for the Judgment Day too.
Well, I
With
mean,
Finn and Damian.
all that talk of Damian Priest getting over in the back because of the matches he's been having, like his Bad Bunny match, plus the match with Seth Rollins, like they're just they're higher. They're like, this guy's a main eventer, so he might. I think personally, it's a little bit too soon for them to split him up.
Mm-hmm.
It's too soon for him to stand on his own just yet, in my opinion. But who knows how they book it, right? Who knows? I actually kind of like the idea of them keeping Judgment Day together, but off doing their own things. Like when Dom came out with Cody Rhodes,
I can't get over holy fuck, the crowd went nuts. Like, he can't talk. The whole crowd's just booing so loud.
They fucking hate him so fucking
They
much.
hate him so much that they booed Cody for telling him not to boo Dominic.
All he's trying to do is get him to fucking say his promo so that he can say his promo.
Come on, guys, don't boo Dominic.
But fuck, but he is just hard time Dom.
Oh man,
I guess we can't even really call him hard time Dom. Like top heel Dom is just.
I think he might actually be the biggest heel.
He is right now.
Wrestling.
He's the biggest heel. I don't think there's anyone that gets that. Oh no, sorry, no. Don Callis and Takeshita.
Oh yeah.
Don Callis, when he cut that promo, did you hear that?
No.
Watch it.
Yeah.
Fucking nuclear.
He could talk, that guy.
It's between him and Dom right now. It's close. It's very, very close. And I'm gonna give it to Don just because of the promo. He out promo Dom all day long.
Oh yeah.
And it's not like Dom's a bad promo. He's a much better promo. Even when he was slowly turning heel, like against his dad type of thing, he was getting better on the mic.
Yeah.
But his character works on another level. I love it. I love that he hides behind Rhea. I love that he calls her mommy.
I love it so much.
I love that he's just like
so much.
And like taunts them and it's just like, she's gonna kill you. Like, I love it. It's fucking priceless. And calling Cody just as bad a dad as his own.
Yeah.
Oh, so, Jesus fuck, man.
I know Ray's made mistakes because I'm looking at.
Yeah. So, So basically, what I'm saying is that I don't think I'll be not watching anytime soon.
Yeah.
I'm in for different reasons.
It's all like, yeah, the rain stuff kind of soured me on that.
Yeah.
There's so much good shit going on.
There's so much.
Oh,
like across all of it. Like
too
across
much.
all of it. But yeah, I know that Doc Alice promo with Dr. Sheeta.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Fuck.
But yeah, so that's it for me. I don't have anything else at all.
I got nothing either. I don't even have Instaquestions this week.
Okay, great, because I want to spend the next 4 million years talking about this movie.
Which isn't me, myself, and Irene, for those that were waiting for us to start
all
talking.
Jokes aside, Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse recently came out, and Ken and I were able to watch it.
Yep.
And so the budget, $100 million, which for an animated movie is pretty good.
It's pretty good.
And it's currently sitting at $247.8 million.
After one weekend.
One fucking weekend, okay?
Like, oh man. The first one made just over 30 million on opening weekend, and this thing just cleaned house.
Just destroyed everything.
This was so fucking good.
Oh man, like, okay, so I'll do this real quick.
Yeah.
Just because
Do the run through.
I want to talk. So okay, so we've got Shamik Moore reprises his role as Miles Morales, Spider-Man. Haley Steinfeld? That sounds like a fucking Family Guy joke. When Quagmire's like, Steinfeld? Jerry Steinfeld? And they're like, it's not Jerry Steinfeld, it's Seinfeld. What are you guys talking about? It's not Jerry Seinfeld, it's Jerry Steinfeld. So anyway, Haley Steinfeld reprises her role as Gwen Stacy / Spider-Woman. Brian Tyree Henry returns as Jefferson Morales, Miles' dad. Luna Lauren Velez returns as Rio Morales, Miles' mom. Jake Johnson, shocker, returns as Peter B. Parker / Spider-Man. But he now comes along with Mayday.
Yeah, so awesome.
Who is a daughter who has spider powers and her own web slingers. And a crocheted spider mask.
Yeah, I love that.
which is priceless. Then we've got, and I didn't know he was in this movie, but luckily I figured it out. Jason fucking Schwartzman showing up as Dr. Jonathan Owen, the Spot. And before we go further, they fucking leveled him up.
Oh.
They leveled him up.
Oh, man.
But that's it. That's all I'm going to say. Because
that's it.
Part of the reason I want to do this because I want to talk about where I was at when I was watching the trailers. We've got Issa Rae as Jessica Drew, Spider-Woman.
People get to think spider people are just bad parents.
Yep.
She's riding around with a pregnant stone.
Yeah. Karen Sony, another guy I figured out. Because that's the dude from Deadpool.
Yeah, it is that guy.
By Victor Prabhakar, the Spider-Man India. Okay. Daniel Kaluuya, I don't know if you recognize that guy.
Yeah.
As Hobart Hobie Brown, Spider-Punk. Oscar Isaac, we all knew this, as Miguel O'Hara, Spider-Man 2099. They took some liberties with this one, but he's a ninja vampire. And from an alternate universe set in the year.
Was he a vampire in the comic?
No.
He
had fangs.
So. He did have fangs.
And he had talons, because that's how he could climb walls.
Yeah.
And the suit itself, the reason why he had to wear that suit was because it was made of like unstable molecules.
Okay, yeah.
Right? And it was a Day of the Dead costume, but because of the unstable molecules, he couldn't shred it through it.
Right.
And if he bit you, he could actually like poison you.
Oh.
But he wasn't a vampire. Unless they change things. But anyway. Greta Lee reprised her role as Lila. Miguel's AI, but essentially the Spider Society's AI. Mahershala Ali reprised his role of Aaron Davis. There's going to be spoilers. Spot spoilers. Shea Wingham voices George Stacy, Gwen's father.
Love that guy.
Yorma Tacone voices Adriano Tumes. an Italian vulture-themed supervillain from a Renaissance-inspired universe, which, fuck, man, like that alone.
That animation, that whole sequence.
Fuck,
That
man.
whole sequence.
Actually,
is
there's so much.
Wow.
Jarrell Jerome voices Miles G. Morales.
Oh.
Plot spoiler right now, who is Prowler from the Earth 42, where the spider that bit Miles came from.
Mm-hmm.
Another one we figured out, Andy Samberg as Ben Reilly, the Scarlet Spider. Amanda Stenberg as Margot Kess, Spider Bite.
Mm-hmm.
Kimiko Glenn as Penny Parker, reprises a role. Nicolas Cage, who I don't think said anything.
Didn't talk.
But reprises role. John Mulaney. Oh, yeah, they both reprised their roles, but through archival audio recordings.
Yeah.
So John Mulaney returned as Peter Porker, Spider-Ham, in spirit.
In spirit.
It wasn't in the... But we also got Taram Killam as Patrick O'Hara, Web-Slinger and his horse Widow. Nick Novicki as Lego Spider-Man. Josh Keaton reprised his role as Peter Parker, Spectacular Spider-Man from the cartoon.
Yeah, that was pretty cool.
That was awesome. Yuri Lowenthal reprised his role as Peter Parker, Insomniac Spider-Man. Mike Rianda as Ezekiel Slims, the Spider Therapist. Although he was only credited as additional voices. Okay. Sophia Barclay as Malala Windsor, Spider UK. Daniel Perez as Charlotte Weber, Sun Spider. Metro Boomin as Metro Spider-Man, a fictionalized unique version of himself as Spider-Man. And Max Bourne as Spider-Man 2211. Then, of course, you saw a whole bunch of other ones.
Lots of archival footage.
List goes on. Catherine Hahn even briefly reprised her role.
Yep.
Jack Quaid was Earth 65 Peter Parker.
Which is cool. I was like, this has got to be someone semi-big to do this voice.
Yeah. So did I. J.K. Simmons continuing his J. Jonah Jameson across all of the multiverses.
All of it.
Every single one. But one of the coolest things for me, I shouldn't say the coolest, but one of the coolest was seeing actual live-action versions of Tobey Maguire, Andrew Garfield as their respective Spider-Man.
Yep.
And the one that almost made me shit my fucking pants was Donald Glover portraying an alternate version of Aaron Davis, the Prowler.
Yep.
And then, of course, Peggy Lou shows up as Miss Chen from Venom.
That was a nice little surprise, too.
Yeah, that was. So, and then, of course, we got archival footage of Ben Parker, Gwen Stacy from Spider-Man. Amazing Spider-Man. We've got Alfred Molina's Otto Octavius, and yada 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 yada. Okay, all right.
Okay.
So my worry going into watching this movie, flat out, was that I'd watched too much of the trailers.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so at that point, I was just like, "This is just gonna be fucking awesome." I pretty much know how it's gonna end. He's gonna beat Miguel O'Hara, and he's gonna save his dad. Everything's gonna be right, and everything's gonna be great. But wow, was I wrong?
Well, I didn't realize you had no idea that it was going to continue into another movie.
No idea. No, actually, no, that's not true. I knew there was, but I didn't know that it was going to end on a cliffhanger ending.
Okay.
So that was a legit surprise for me. I knew about Beyond the Spider-Verse, but I didn't know that it was going to be coming out so soon. Right? Because it was one of those where I was just kind of like, yeah. We'll get to that when we get to that, right? Yeah. But I also didn't anticipate that the first 10 minutes of the movie would be Gwen telling her story. And on her alternate universe, where it's almost like painted.
Yeah.
Like,
well, that, like, it didn't really occur to me, like, when all the other Spider people came into the Spider-Verse, when they came into Miles' world, they all look different.
Yep.
But it didn't really occur to me that their universes would look like they look.
Right.
So when they did this, it's that beautiful painted, like, Renaissance.
God damn.
It's gorgeous.
Like, almost looked like brushwork.
Yeah. And then you threw, like, Miguel O'Hara into there, and then this fucking vulture from the Renaissance days.
The vulture,
who looks like he's just ripped paper,
just flapping, like, God, like he looked like a drawing from Leonardo da Vinci.
Exactly.
And they just went, he's come to life.
Yep.
Oh, but it was awesome, so awesome. But
like that whole opening, and just like her telling her story while drumming.
Yeah, and that drum beat was incredible.
Yeah.
That drum beat was so fucking incredible. Yeah, you're right. Like, and she's talking about how she made a friend in Peter Parker, her version of Peter Parker,
Yep.
but she got the spider
But
powers.
nice twist on making him a villain.
Well, that's straight out of the comics.
Well, see, I don't really know anything about Spider-Gwen.
I don't know. I know enough to get by.
Yeah.
I don't exactly.
I know her costume's awesome.
Yep.
But I never read any of it because I thought the concept was stupid until I learned more about it. I was like,
Yeah.
oh, great. Now Gwen Stacy's a spider person, too.
I thought the concept was pretty cool. I thought,
Yeah.
but it was also one of those ones where it's like, that's going to be one of those where it's not for everybody because it's almost too comic booky, even though it's literally, it came out of the comic books.
Yeah.
But regardless, but I knew that he was like the big villain for her.
Right.
But I thought it was awesome. Like, they showed him like figure out, okay, you know what? I'm going to do this to get stronger, and turns into the lizard, and then it ends up like her canon moment is him dying, you know, and then her father, who's a police, like he's a cop, is now hunting Spider-Girl, Spider-Woman, I think they call her, and she knows that that's her dad, but he doesn't know it's her, and she's just like, fuck, and now she's all alone. She meets Miles, and she's like, oh, I can finally be myself around somebody, but I have to leave him, right?
Yeah.
So don't get close to anybody because they're all going to leave you in one way, shape, or form, right?
Yeah.
And then you get the flip side with Miles literally trying to have his cake and eat it too, and trying to have both cakes. And it's like, I've watched this story before. You got to make a choice. You got to just basically do the best you can with what you can. But
doesn't matter who you are under the costume. You still got to balance everything.
Yeah, and that's one of my favorite metaphors for Spider-Man to translate into real life. Because... yeah, sure, we don't have a mask that we put on and we fight crime, but we do have a work mask that we wear.
Yourself.
You don't. I've seen your knees, and your wrists are fucked. So
your wrists are fucked.
I mean, you may have been fighting crime up until recently, and that might be why you've accrued all these injuries.
Sneak up behind and I just elbows, man. It's all about the elbows.
That's actually a pretty brutal way to do it, though.
Fucking right.
Especially this, just coming down like that. Yeah. Ooh, okay. All right.
Like a praying mantis.
All right. Okay. Yeah. That's not bad.
Not bad.
Well, because you got to preserve your wrists.
I got to preserve my wrists.
That's right. That's
how else would I game?
Yeah. Oh yeah. Like this in a cast.
Beat Tony Hawk 3 27 times.
Yeah. James Levitsky. A god amongst mortals.
He's a nut. I can't believe that.
But yeah, so like the brushstrokes, the like tapestry type looking shit that was in her world was incredible.
Yeah.
Absolutely incredible. And I was like, oh my god, we're getting her story now. And then we go see Miles. We check in on Miles. And of course, it's the same thing. You know, Miles is trying to juggle everything, you know, and having hilarious conversations with his dad as Spider-Man.
Those two together are awesome.
I was just fucking crying.
Deep voice.
I just gotta let him spread his wings. And then later when his dad does it to his mom, he's like, well, we gotta let him spread his wings. I was like, oh, that's so great. That's so great. And like, fuck, like, the pacing alone is amazing.
Oh, it's incredible.
Like, it's snappy, it's moving, but it lets you sit in moments. Though.
Like, it's over 2 hours.
But it lets you sit in some of these moments. Like, like I said, you're with Gwen for the good 10 minutes of the movie, and then you're with Miles for about 5. Then Gwen shows up, and then they kind of go back and forth, but they start peeling it back, and then of course Vulture shows up. Like, I love it when Miles shows up and he's like, "Hey, you're not my Vulture."
Yeah.
You know, and you're like, yeah, okay, fuck, you know, and then we start talking about canon events, which I thought was
really cool.
Really fucking cool. But it freaks me out because then it means that his dad has to die. Because
I mean, how else? It's going to be the next movie, be him having to deal with the understanding that this is it.
Yeah.
My final moments with my father.
And it puts all these people like in tough positions. Like Peter B. Parker is like he's like, you knew. And it's like, yeah, I knew, but I mean, this shit has to happen. Like when he goes and he saves the commissioner in the Indian Spider-Man's world and ends up causing the eventual destruction of that world. It's like, oh, fuck. and of course Spider-Man's thing is save everybody.
Right, and he did.
Superman's thing too, save everybody. We save as many people as we fucking can, but we try to save everybody.
Yep.
And he did, and now it's like, well, this is what happened, right?
But man, holy fuck, was that good when like Gwen reveals to him the reason she held him back was for his safety, because she needed those people to die down there.
Yeah.
Like, this movie is so really just like it pulled on the heartstrings more than once.
So crazy. And then and then getting back to me going like, yeah, I mean, maybe I watched too much. I saw the shit with Spot, and I was like, oh, that's funny, and they're playing it for laughs. That's kind of funny.
It's exactly what I thought. Oh,
and
it's
then,
just a little throwaway villain at the beginning.
And then all of a sudden he fucking starts jumping to different Alchemix places, which is also a reference to Spidey 299. But anyway, and then he starts leveling up to the point where now he's black, and he's like scribbles now.
Yeah,
like holy shit. And all he wants to do is just prove that he's not a fucking joke villain. Mm-hmm. And Miles is like, dude, I'm sorry. You're my arch nemesis. He's like, I will be when I kill your dad.
Yeah.
And it's just like, fuck. But even that flash when there was the duality where he was seeing the Indian commissioner, and then he was flashing to his dad. And it was a similar situation where his dad was going to go save somebody. Mm-hmm. And, and I was like, oh my God. So, like, I spent the whole movie going, like, we're going to see his dad die at the end of this movie. And then whatever happens in the third is what happens, right?
Yep.
But, fuck, I can't get over
that ending. Oh, my God.
I don't even want to go there just yet. Because
I know,
I'm still
but
just
to think that that was the ending we were expecting.
Yeah.
And then the ending we got, wow.
Oh man, like
holy shit!
Fuck, it was so good. So many things. I loved Spider-Punk at the last second. Was like
Spider-Punk was awesome. I did find him hard to understand at times.
I watch a lot of BBC stuff.
I know a lot of people are like complaining about the sound mix in this movie.
Okay, well,
which I didn't have a problem with it.
Yeah, I didn't either.
It was just some of the Spider-Punk stuff was just kind of like,
which is fine. Like he's got a heavy Cockney accent, which is hard to understand, which I get, which is fine.
Yeah,
I didn't have any issues with that. But regardless, his character was perfectly in sync because the whole time I'm thinking, like, out of all of them that is in the Spider Society, he's the one that shouldn't be. Like he literally tells you, like for fun, he like breaks the fascist, anti-capitalist society, stuff like that. You're just like, yeah, well, that would be him.
Yeah.
He's fucking punk rock. And then, of course, he and Gwen would be, may or may not be, knocking web spinners, as they say. Having sex, I think is the term.
Is that the term?
I think I'm trying to say. Because this doesn't make any sense, right?
Well,
like, really?
We don't really know where his webs come from.
His wrists. True. It could come from his penis, I guess, if that's what you're implying.
That's definitely what I was implying. It's 100% where I was going with that.
But the fact that like he made a off the grid portal jumper was great. But even like I liked I actually kind of liked that there was almost a 50-50 split between Miles and Gwen. Because we're getting more of Gwen's story. Now we're getting like why she would join up with the Spider Society. Because there's other people just like her.
Right.
So she could be herself around these people and not have to worry about losing these people.
And she just came off this horrible moment with her father where she revealed her identity and his reaction is to arrest her.
Yeah, you're under arrest. She's like, fuck Dad, come on.
So she doesn't want to go home.
No.
And she has no one else.
Exactly. So as far as that's it for her, right? But I do, and I also kind of thought like they did a good job of making you realize there is something else behind the Spider Society. Because even Spider-Woman on the motorcycle.
Yep. Jessica Drew.
Yeah, Jessica Drew. Even Jessica Drew, she was kind of like tiptoeing around pulling Gwen in because she knew exactly what they're about. And you could tell it was almost like, I don't know if she would be good for this.
Right.
Right? And at first she is, but then when it affects Miles, then it's different. Now it's oh shit, hold on a second. No, we can't do this. And so she's heartbroken for him, but at the same time, she's also heartbroken for herself because like her dad's gonna be a commissioner. And part of the canon events is that Spider-Man can't save a canon, like a commissioner, whether it's Gwen Stacy or George Stacy or Jefferson Morales. Like they have to die. And it's like, what? And just the fact that they said a canon event, and you're just like, oh fuck, this is really cool. So it's like someone has to die for them to decide to become Spider-Man.
Mm.
You know, whether it's Uncle Ben or in Miles's case, his uncle. You know, like he was really kind of not wanting to do it, and then his uncle died, and he was like, I gotta be Spider-Man.
Yeah.
You know? And then fuck, like even just fighting all of the Spider-Man. That whole, like, I actually didn't think it was gonna be as long a sequence as it was.
It was a long sequence.
It was incredibly long.
I thought that was going to be the end of the movie almost. Like,
that's
it was
what I thought.
So long that I was like,
I was just like, okay, well, this is
right
it.
here.
This is it. It's over. And then it's like, wait, no. And then he gets away. But I loved, like, when I saw that it was going to 42, I was like, oh, that's a nice touch because that's where the spider's from. But I didn't make the connection that that's not where Miles was going to, like, that's not where he's from. So when he showed up and his mom's like, oh, you changed your hair. It was like, wait, what?
Yeah, which I thought was weird. I'm looking at his hair. I'm like, did he change it somehow?
Maybe it's just a little bit higher because he was running around. I don't know.
He's got the mask hair,
you know. And then you get that one weird look from his Uncle Aaron, because of course he's alive, and it's like, what the fuck is happening? And then you saw the Prowler, and then you see like Miles G. Morales, dreads, like cold death stare because, well, his dad's been dead for I don't know how long, and there's no Spider-Man on this earth, so New York is a fucking cesspool of crime, and I guess whatever else happens in those kind of situations. So it's just like, holy fuck. And immediately he's trying to appeal to the inner good guy. The same thing he was trying to do with his uncle when he found out he was the Prowler. He's like, you don't have to do this. You don't have to do this. And he's like, yeah, I have to. I'm sorry, I have to.
Yeah, I can't get over, like, I was very torn at first. I was like, I don't know if I like this more than it's equal to Into the Spider-Verse, but I don't know if it's more. But like the more I think about it, I think this does top Into the Spider-Verse.
It does. It does for me. It does for me. It didn't right away either. But it was one of the things that I was thinking about with Marvel, with the most recent Marvel movies, is that they don't stay with me as long as they used to. Right? Guardians and Ant-Man are the two that I was like, these are really good Marvel movies, because I still kind of go back and I go, like in my head, I go, oh yeah, that was really, really cool. Or, oh, that was really, really funny. Or, oh, I really, really liked that. Right? I haven't done that since Spider-Man No Way Home. You know, like I didn't do that with Doctor Strange 2. It was only if I was talking about it with people, then I'd be like, well, you know, this was cool, this was cool. But like, I don't just sit there and go, like, kind of replay like that experience of watching it, right? Because, and I've been doing that ever since I watched
me neither.
Across the Spider-Verse.
Guardians for me, I did.
Guardians for me, I did for sure.
Still,
but this one has been a constant.
Ant-Man to a little bit, but yeah, no, this is on
Ant-Man, not nowhere near as much as Guardians, but like I said, up until Ant-Man 3, I wasn't really like, oh yeah, because like I thoroughly enjoy Ant-Man 3, with the exception of the last battle, because I was like, this looks like when they're complaining about how it looks like Endgame, I'm like, yeah, it looks like Endgame.
It looks like
it's 100% looks like Endgame.
Yeah,
and I was like, you didn't really have to go that much into that. You could have dialed it back.
Yeah,
like I know we're in the quantum realm, so technically this is a small battle.
Very little,
very, very little tiny battle, but like it didn't have to look like hordes of bad guys coming at you, right? But regardless, the spectacle was incredible. But like with this one, it's just like it's constantly like I'm looking back and I'm like, oh, the brushstrokes and like Gwen's story and the drum beat and then Miles's story and even his conversation with his mom, where she's just like she's basically saying like. She's almost like hinting, like, look, I know you're Spider-Man. And he's about to tell her, like, when they're on the roof, and he's about to, and he's like, nah. And you can almost feel her just be like, okay, well, he's not ready for it yet, you know? But his relationship with his parents is, like, where it should be for a kid at that point, who's also Spider-Man. Like, fuck, it's just so fucking good. And then, when Gwen gets sent back to her own... and meets her dad, and they talk about it, and then he's like, I quit She's like, why'd you quit? I quit when you told me. And it's like, oh, it was like, I was almost getting choked up because it was just so happy.
She said, you're a good captain. He said, I was a good
captain.
I was
a good captain. And he's like, what happened?
Yeah.
I was like, I quit after you told me. And I was like, aw, because he was in the moment and he was like, you're under arrest. But he was like, and then he had some time to deal with it and go, yeah, but.
That's my daughter.
But, and also, when it comes to that point, then you go like, how can that person be as bad as I've made them out to be when that's my daughter? Like, I know that she wouldn't kill people.
Yeah.
Right? And she's like saying, like, all I've ever wanted to do was help people just like you, you know? When they hug, I was like, oh, that's just great. And then she starts amassing the fucking team because
that was awesome.
And
that was so fucking awesome.
They were smart too because they showed Penny with an upgraded suit.
That one little appearance.
But they didn't show anyone else without like the archival voice and stuff. But in the battle, they weren't there. You know, like they weren't trying to stop Miles. They weren't there at all. And I remember thinking to myself, like, it's weird that they're not there. But of course, it was one of those, like, it's weird that they're not. Oh, and that's Spider-Man. And that's Spider-Man. And that's Spider-Man. What was I thinking of? Oh, and that's Spider-Man. Oh, all these fucking spider people. This is great.
I got to really slow that down, though. Like I told you, I'm going to watch that on Blu-ray, and I'm just going to, like, go freeze frame. Because there's so many Spideys in there.
Yeah. But the thing is, I wouldn't get too bogged down because a lot of it is just going to be background noise.
I know.
Like, it's not going to be like, oh, that's Spider-Man and that's Spider-Man. It's just going to be like, that's a random color thing we did because we wanted to show, you know, whatever, fine. Like, honestly, it was fucking just great to see so many.
Oh, it was
and I loved that they all mimicked the style that they came from.
Yeah.
Spectacular Spider-Man looked like Spectacular Spider-Man. Animated Spider-Man, animated Spider-Man. The 1960s Spider-Man. You know,
I really
loved Spider-Man.
Insomniac Spider-Man, straight out of the game.
Oh,
I really loved the way they made Scarlet Spider look.
Oh, I know.
It came out of
Tom
a comic.
Lyle. It was definitely Tom Lyle art.
Yeah.
Oh fuck. Oh wait, no, it wasn't Tom Lyle. That actually was more. That was more Sal Buscema.
Was it him and who was writing? Tom DeFalco?
Actually, it might have been, or I think he was editor in chief.
Okay.
But hold on. Scarlet Spider-Man.
I just loved how like
Scarlet
straight
Spider-Man.
off the page.
I'm almost certain. I kept saying Todd. Tom Lyle, but
it'd be whoever did Web of Spider-Man at the time, right? Because that's where he appeared in. Oh yeah, that's 100% the art.
Yeah,
100%.
Yeah. So
is that Buscema?
That's Buscema.
Yeah,
100%. But even just the way he was saying stuff, he's like, perfect pose. I was like, it's so funny. But of course, he was a harder one to pick. Like him and Andy Samberg and Jason Schwartzman were the two where I'm like, I know that voice. But when I finally pegged it, I was like, oh yeah. When I nailed Schwartzman, I was like, I was impressed with myself.
Yeah,
because I haven't heard him speak in quite a long time.
It's been a while.
Yeah, but then again, I stopped watching Wes Anderson movies a long time ago.
So then that pretty much cuts out all your Schwartzman.
That's it. That's the entire discography.
That's it.
The last time I seen him was that Steve.
I used to watch him in that Bored to Death show.
What the fuck is his name now?
Steve Buscemi.
No. Steve Martin.
Oh yeah.
Him and Steve Martin were going after the same girl.
Was that a movie?
Yeah.
I don't recall that movie.
It's years ago.
Sounds funny.
Worst part is I can't remember who the girl was. I remember the dudes.
Yeah,
but
great cast, great. Oh man,
cast is incredible, and like you said too, like each dimension has their own flavor. Like Indian Manhattan looked incredible.
Oh, looked amazing.
Looked absolutely incredible. Although I was laughing because they, like Pavadhar or whatever, how do you pronounce his name, and Indian Spider-Man have the exact same hair.
Yeah, same hair.
Like nothing's different. It's the hair and the body type, and you're like, how does it? And his girlfriend, like, she must know that it's him. Or
Except that hair is
anybody
just
that knows,
flowing.
yeah, exactly, and it's always the same flowing too.
Yeah.
But
I mean, it's got to have the same smell.
well, yeah, but then again, they probably all smell similar based on their diet.
Yes.
It's a lot of curry, so.
Mm.
But man, it's just fucking.
I wanted to see the Mangaverse Spider-Man.
I was very surprised that we didn't see that one.
And I really thought, like, they didn't announce him at all in this, so I thought he'd show up in that team pose at the end.
Yeah, but why?
Just because he's awesome.
Because he wasn't part of the group.
He's awesome. That's fine.
Yeah, visually he looks incredible.
Yeah,
like I agree. That's but I feel like if we haven't seen him in this one, we might see him in the third. But I don't think so. I think the third is going to be more contained.
It will,
because it's going to be that group.
His time to appear was during that whole chaotic.
That's right. So it's going to be this group that's going to try and first save Miles.
Mm-hmm.
And obviously, I feel Miles is going to turn Miles G. Morales. Mm-hmm. He's going to flip him. Or he might flip his uncle. But he's going to flip one of the two. For sure. But my money is on flipping Miles. Okay? Because he's going to say, I have an opportunity to save my dad. Our dad. And then he's going to go, okay.
Yeah, because he has no dad.
That's right.
His dad's already gone.
That's right. And then, so they're going to save him. They're going to stop Miguel and his group of guys.
Yep.
And then Miles is going to beat the Spot.
He's going to beat the Spot.
But he is.
But is there a higher power above Miguel?
I guess we'll have to find out. We'll have to find out because we didn't see Madam Web.
And that's what I was thinking. We're going to see Madam Web.
Because we didn't see Madam Web. Not even a hint at Madam Web.
Yeah.
So if anyone's going to be above, and also if anyone's going to instill that sort of cold-heartedness.
Yep.
Because like, I will say, like, at least with Miguel, they did a good job of making it seem like it's not anything he wants to do. He has to do it to preserve the canon. Right? Because, well, like he said, like, he was himself. He fucking went to this other Miguel's.
Yeah.
He took his spot.
Family.
He pulled a Rick Sanchez and just said, "Oh, he was already dead. I'm here.
Yeah.
I never left." So it's like, okay, and then he caused a canon event he caused the death of the entire realm. Mm. Now Miles potentially has destroyed Paviter Parker's Parker Indian Spider-Man's world. They didn't actually say it was destroyed, but it was like falling apart.
Yeah.
So it's probably, by the time we get to the third one, it's probably gone. So it's going to be one of those things where you're going to see Miles realize that he has to. Oh wait, no, that's not true. Because the reason why Gwen brought the group together was because her dad didn't become he quit. So it'll be that they'll try to figure out a way to not let that happen, so he doesn't become commissioner. So then that he can not die, so he doesn't have to die. So they can work around the canon.
Some other guy will die.
Yeah,
but he doesn't matter.
But fuck that guy.
Fuck that guy.
Yeah,
let him die.
Yeah, who cares? Is your last name Morales? No, I don't give a fuck. I don't give a fuck. You are dead to me, literally. But knowing that I only have to wait till March, though, not bad. That's not bad. Not bad. Because like I said, I literally said, that's the end? And then you went, there's no stinger either. I went, what?
Yeah.
So then, and then you're like, yeah, but the other one's out in March. So I was like, oh, okay.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. All right. All right. I can dig that.
Dig it?
Yeah.
Good thing you won't be busy in March.
Yeah, okay. Right. Yeah. I have my own canon event.
You got your own canon event going on.
Yeah, well, fuck. I mean,
hey.
All right, I'll take it.
Hey,
I'll take it.
It works.
I wanted it. So
you want it.
So yeah, but all in all, like it was fucking great.
Yeah.
Like, and you know what? Like, to even say that this is better than the first, I mean, so what?
Yeah, so I mean, the first is still a masterpiece.
Fucking, like, the first was so good
that
it absolutely forced me to restructure my favorite Spider-Man movies.
Oh, yeah. Forced.
And it was, like, because, like, I'm a Peter Parker guy. I'm white, so I'm a Peter Parker guy.
Yeah.
You know, but like I had no issues with Miles in the Ultimate Verse. Like I was like, they did a great job of
No, Miles was cool.
taking out like, well, at the time ending that Peter Parker story.
Yeah.
Now he can never die.
Oh, it's a clusterfuck.
Him and Osborn can never die.
Yeah.
So they'll live forever. Anyway, but I do think bringing him back robs it. But then they did the switch so that Miles is now here in regular Marvel Universe 1610. Oh, 619. Yeah, the comic book is 616. That's right. Yeah, comics is 619. That's right, 619. Yeah, that's the area code for San Diego too, where he lives. Anyway, a lot of 6s and 1s and whatever.
Yeah, whatever.
But then, but now the Ultimate Verse is back, so he's still Spider-Man.
Back too, apparently.
Yeah.
Like I was just reading it earlier before you got here.
Yeah.
Like Hickman is kicking off a new Ultimate Universe.
Okay.
Cool.
Whatever. I mean, if it does good.
The Ultimate Universe was great because it was fun. So we'll see if Hickman can do fun.
Oh yeah, no, Hickman can't do fun.
Can't do fun.
How can you have fun when you have 4 panels and then a mini novel?
Yeah.
And then 4 panels, and then you gotta wait another month for the next book.
Yeah.
Sorry, mini novel at the beginning to tell you the story.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean 4 panels. I don't mean pages. 4 panels.
4 panels.
And then another bit of dialogue and
yeah, you get this whole stuff that you don't really care about.
It's like you don't have to rip off Alan Moore all the time. Like every book could be.
It doesn't need.
Yeah.
It's too much. I don't need to see the architecture of one of the buildings in the Ultimate World.
Yeah, exactly. But so now I have to restructure it again. This top 5.
It's hard. It's hard because I'm like, I don't want to move Spidey down anymore. Like the original, like Spidey,
like
1 and 2.
Tobey Maguire,
I don't
Raimi Spidey
want it, but
are getting bumped from the list.
But the Spider-Verse movies are so fucking good.
Because the Spider-Verse,
No Way Home was so fucking good.
No Way Home was so fucking good.
You love Homecoming, but I love Far From Home more.
Yeah, and that's the thing, right?
Yeah.
I mean,
but I just.
But even Far From Home, it's just like it's still a really good fucking Spider-Man movie.
Oh yeah, I love
it's just,
Far From Home.
I thought Homecoming was better.
Yeah,
almost across the board.
Homecoming's great, but it's just it felt too Tony Stark to me, and that will always be an issue for me.
Yeah, but like even the stuff where a lot of the stuff where like Peter's trying to have his own life, and like the stuff with the bus really was like, oh yeah, like he's gonna kill Flash, like come on.
Yeah.
And on all the drone stuff. But for the most part, like I still think it's great. Like it's a great fucking trilogy. It's like, you know, because the third Spider-Man, I have a lot more issues with it.
Mm-hmm.
I would say like that's the better trilogy than the Raimi one because while Spider-Man 3 is a lot better, like even now, like it's better than when I first watched it a couple of times because you know we're still reeling with the fact that we had that spoiled for us a year prior. Because you found the script.
I found the script.
You found the script online, and then you were like, "Yeah, so this is it," and we were both like, "Oh, that doesn't sound good at all.
That
doesn't sound good at all.
That's fan fiction. That's not.
There's no way." And then, like, fast forward a year later,
and we're
both watching it. Like, because I watched it by myself in the theater at a different time, and I remember like halfway through the movie going like, "Wait a minute,
this is the script.
Wait a minute, I think I know how this ends." And then like. He became like giant Sandman, and I went, he's a giant Sandman, and then
fighting Venom with the bulls.
And then then Harry shows up and teams up to help him.
Yeah.
Oh God, this whole thing. Actually, no, it was sooner than that. It was shortly after Harry got the amnesia that I remember thinking like, oh God, this is the script. This is the fucking script. That wasn't a fan script. This is the movie. So when you look back at it now, yeah, sure, there's still a lot of really cool shit, but there's a lot of fucking like Venom is hard to stomach even now, especially after the 2 movies.
Yeah, well, I mean, fuck. At the time, he was cool looking.
He was cool looking.
But now that you see Venom, that should be Venom.
Yeah. Exactly.
It's hard.
It's very hard.
It's very hard.
And but anyway, yeah. So I don't want to. I'm not ready to do an updated Spider-Man list just yet.
I haven't done it yet.
I
got my list.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I can't do it yet. I can't do it because I think.
But I mean, like we're looking at.
I think
well,
Spidey 2 is already in third spot now.
Well, we're looking at both Spider-Verse movies.
Yep.
That's on the list. That's on the top 5.
Easy top 5.
Then it's No Way Home.
Yep.
And then
for me, it's Spider-Man 1 and 2.
Actually, you know what? I'd probably say Spider-Man 2 and then Homecoming.
You got Homecoming. Yeah.
Not that I'm in any particular order.
Yeah,
because
yeah.
even that's like
Well,
that's borderline impossible.
That's a put.
That's
What's number
impossible.
1?
Yeah. Like, what's my favorite? Which one's my favorite testicle?
Yeah. The big one.
They're both the same size.
Wow.
Yeah.
Lucky you.
Yeah.
I'm a little lopsided.
They sit lopsided, but it's not because one is bigger than the other. Well, actually, I don't know these days.
It's hard to say.
It's been a while since I've checked myself.
You got a sack of marbles. You know, the marbles sit differently sometimes.
Yeah. Next time I'm doing stuff with my wife, I might say, hey, check her around down there. Let's see what's going on. Are they the same size? Do you feel lumps?
Let me know.
While you're down there, below me. I tried to channel my inner Bruce Campbell.
Successful?
Army of Darkness, eh? When he's
the
chick's like, I'm really sorry I tried to kill you. He's like, blow me. Like, what? What? And then of course I'm like, you know what's funny? They don't understand what you're saying.
Yeah,
they don't get that
what
terminology.
The hell that means.
Blow you? Okay.
Yeah. Like that?
I guess I don't know.
Very sensual. Oh, so Spider-Verse.
Very sensual, yeah.
Yeah.
So Across the Spider-Verse is it's 5 Chris heads out of 5 for me.
Oh, easily.
Hands down, 5 heads, Chris heads out of 5. It did everything that a sequel should do. It expanded upon the original, but like it was just bigger and better.
I straight up feel like if number 3 is just as good as 2 and 1, this could end up being the best comic book trilogy of all time.
Yeah, it's got like it's the only thing they can do now is fuck it up.
Yeah,
like really, that's
which is really easy to do apparently on a third movie. I don't know why studios always fuck up a third movie.
They expand it,
yeah,
and then towards the end of that second movie, they just start to tunnel it out.
Yep.
And then now I think it's just going to be a speed run, and it's just going to be like fucking relentless. But like I said, we've got a couple of plots.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's A, we have to find Miles.
Yep.
B, fight Miguel and his group.
Yep.
And C,
save Papa.
Stop the spot and possibly save Papa. Mm-hmm. We can't rule out that he might end up having to die.
And I still feel like we're going to see Madam Web.
And I agree. Like
I still feel
I didn't think of it as a higher power type of situation.
With the Spot fucking around in different universes.
Yeah, like until you mentioned it, I didn't think of it as a higher power type of thing. But I was thinking to myself, she should have been there because she's like the like when he was talking about the webs and how they're all connected.
Yeah.
Like that's her thing.
That's hers.
That's all her thing. Like she's blind, but she could see all that. Yeah. So it's like. So yeah, I agree. Like the second you said higher power, I'm like Madam Web.
Yeah,
yeah. And just in time for her movie, her live action movie that they stopped talking about.
Just push that back until she shows up in the third of this, and then people are like, "Oh, she's cool." Now give her movie.
Or
it's probably gonna still suck. But at least you make
hear me out. Money. Hear me out. Don't make the movie.
Oh, it's already been made. It's
it's made. No, I know it's already being made.
But hey, that didn't stop Batgirl from getting canceled.
Exactly. So sometimes Sony does really smart things.
Yeah.
Other times,
Sony,
they are fucking stupid.
It's like the live action department and the animation department need to talk to each other more.
Well, okay, like
as in live action just needs to talk to animation about how to make a Spider-Man movie.
Well, not necessarily, because I mean, to be fair, Venom was fucking great. Like my only real major issue with Venom
is, but it could be way better.
It could have been way better. Yes, it could have been way better.
And
it was still really good.
If they simply would have just made Life a prequel, it would have been better.
The second one, however, I don't know, like they fucking fell off a cliff on that second one.
Yeah.
But we knew that was happening. We knew they were going to lean into the comedy.
Mm-hmm.
We didn't think they were going to lean it too like that much. But
it's Carnage.
We knew. And while Woody Harrelson did an absolutely great job as Carnage, like a better job than I thought he would have done,
Yeah.
he shouldn't have been Carnage.
Like Craven's going to be rated R. How's Craven rated R and Venom isn't?
Because Venom is a more popular, like he's a more popular character in general. Like when Venom it came like up as the lead, like he was all over. Like they were fucking they were selling comic books like crazy
back then.
Yeah.
So that's kids our age.
Right, but all these movies are for kids our age.
Yeah.
Like I said with Mario.
Yeah,
oh no, so. The problem with Mario was that it wasn't made for kids our age. And so the kids our age were like, why wasn't this movie made for me? The loser that hangs out in his basement and jerks off to like really, really gross porn. You know, you're like,
he's not talking about us.
No, worry.
No.
Our porn is gross, good gross.
Good gross, gross good.
Gross. I like gross good. It
gross good
better.
sounds fun. Yeah,
it
like
sounds
that.
funnier.
It's like a junk use that movie.
It's classy, just regular classy porn. You know?
Yeah.
That's it. Nothing gross or degrading or anything like that.
No. It's a well lit room.
Yeah. Well lit room.
Licensed music.
The guy
good stuff.
Doesn't take his shoes and socks off and wear sunglasses like they did in the 70s.
Right. Yeah. They all wear sunglasses. Yeah.
But yeah, so like all in all, this is like we've been eating good lately for movies.
Oh, and it's gonna continue.
Well, yeah, because that trailer for Crackoon came out that you showed me.
Crackoon!
Now I gotta tell you, when you showed the actual like the thumbnail, I was like, first of all, Crackoon is great.
That's a great name.
Like Cocaine Bear was awesome because it tells you exactly what that movie's about.
Crackoon.
But Crackoon, I was like, fuck, man, that was so good. And so I was telling Michelle about this and how we were coming up with different names.
Yeah.
And I was like, well, I came up with Mammoth, which I thought was pretty clever.
That was good.
And then Dope Dog. And then you came up with the Caninibus.
Yeah.
Which I was like, okay, that's a little bit of a stretch. Michelle pops this one out. Well, what about Weeder Dog?
Weeder Dog?
Weeder Dog! I was like, oh, fuck. I literally was like, that's good. That's
good.
That's real good.
That's really good. Weeder
so,
Dog.
Trademark to my wife, Weeder Dog. But to also trademark Will, he doesn't really do anything except he breaks into people's houses and eats Cheetos.
Yeah. That's it.
Like, that's really the only effort he wants is just food. Yeah, so, but, yeah, the trailer was horrible, though. I mean, granted, like,
it's bad, but
budget is non-existent, but it was still just like, make that movie.
That might be a good reaction, Camcast.
Make that movie.
Watch Crackoon with us.
Fucking Crackoon. Oh, that name, though, is
the name is perfect.
Great. So
perfect.
Great.
High five to the guy for coming up with the name.
Yeah, no kidding.
Concept's stupid, but the name.
Well, yeah, because like crack is a different drug, period. And also it's a raccoon. Like,
yeah,
you can kill a raccoon.
Yeah, well, not a crackoon though.
Well, not a crackoon, but it's not a fucking bear.
That's true. A bear's a little more vicious,
and also obviously harder to kill too.
Yeah,
like a good, well-placed kick could probably kill a raccoon.
Mm-hmm.
You couldn't do that with a bear.
Yeah.
So to recap, this movie is fucking great.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just been like one great movie after another. Like Ant-Man got the ball rolling with a really good movie. Not a great movie.
Summer started
really
in April this year.
Yeah. And then we got hit with Guardians. And Guardians was fucking amazing.
Yep.
Like amazing. And now this. Well, apparently, I'm very surprised by this. Very surprised by this.
Flash reviews?
But apparently Flash is getting shit on. The critics are just shitting all over it.
Oh, I've read good reviews.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Everything I've said is it's a multiverse mess is what is the stuff I've been reading. Now, to be fair, I'm not actually reading the actual. I'm just seeing like titles and stuff like that. And I mean, it looks great. Like it looks great. It looks great.
You know
it's just.
Hey, Black Adam was a fucking fun time for me.
Yeah.
And people shit all over that.
Oh man, they shit all over it.
So
and
whatever.
I have my one like major issue with that movie, but overall, I enjoyed it.
Yeah.
I enjoyed it a lot. I thought it was great. They did a lot of really cool things with the special effects.
Yep.
Now, in retrospect, though, that teaser with Superman really pisses me off.
It really does.
Oh, fuck. I mean, it's better than getting Superman from the chest, or chest down, because that pissed me off in Shazam. I was like, don't do it then.
Yeah.
You know, or like, you tried to CGI over his mustache, then CGI his face on somebody. Like, fuck.
I can't believe that they fucking brought Cavill back, had him do an announcement saying, I'm back, and a month later go, actually, I'm not back.
Yeah.
Whoopsies.
Yeah. Oh, and by the way, I'm only going to be back for one more season of Netflix.
Yeah.
The Witcher. Although, funnily enough, The Witcher up to another season. So they're going to do 2 seasons with Liam, apparently.
Yeah.
They went to 5 seasons.
Yeah.
I don't know what you're doing, Netflix. You're canceling shows left and right, but this one?
Yeah,
you couldn't cancel this one after season 3?
Could wrap it.
I mean, look.
Yeah.
I'm sure Liam Hemsworth will do a fine job, but I'm sure he would have done a fine job if he was cast first.
Mm-hmm.
You don't follow, Henry Cavill with Liam Hemsworth. And to put this into perspective, Henry Cavill, better actor than Liam Hemsworth.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm not going to say my personal opinion. I'm going to say fact. Come at me, Liam. Come at me. But
he's going to send his big bro.
Don't come at me. Don't. It's cool.
Holy crap. Chris Hemsworth, your arm is the size of my body.
Meanwhile, Chris Hemsworth is like crouching down to me like I'm a small child.
Yeah.
Because he's like 1,000,000 feet tall.
You're so cute.
Yeah.
You're so cute.
That's probably what it'll be. You know what? Fuck it. Yeah, come at me, Liam. Send your brother out for me. Fuck it. I'll take all you Hemsworths on. Except for the one that works a normal job, because he's probably not the one to fuck with.
Yeah. Yeah. He's
out of all of them, he's probably the one that's seen the most shit.
The guy that lives through real life every day?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. But, Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse. If you haven't seen this movie, and you watch the spoiler-filled thing, watch the movie anyway, because it's fucking amazing.
Oh,
it's
absolutely.
Absolutely fucking
Even
amazing.
if you know all the story beats, just the visuals.
Oh.
And being sucked into that world. Like,
holy
fuck.
Even just the spot alone.
There's never been a movie like this.
No.
Ever.
No. Grant,
yeah.
That's tough, because there was a lot of trippy fucking cartoon movies.
Oh yeah, there's trippy movies, but a movie to take every style of animation ever pretty much. And mash it.
Yeah.
And make it look good and not like shit.
Yeah. But also make it look unique.
Yeah.
Like the actual the Miles story stuff is unique. Like when we watched Into the Spider-Verse, we immediately were like, oh my god, this is fucking incredible. Like if they would have done standard animation or standard CGI and stuff, it would still look awesome. But they went balls to the wall with just Into the Spider-Verse.
Yeah.
And then, like I said, Across the Spider-Verse, boom, they exploded. Like this is brimming with creativity, brimming with intelligence. There's nothing they didn't do anything where I went, what? It was all just like, oh,
yeah,
okay, all right.
Yeah.
I mean, they took 2 seconds to write Aunt May out of it.
Yeah,
they didn't even have to.
Aunt May moved away.
They didn't even have to, but they did. It was fucking so great. Oh, it's just so fucking good.
Yeah,
it was so great.
Perfect. It's a perfect movie.
I'm already I was literally thinking about seeing it in the theater again, and I'm probably going to.
I was thinking about maybe doing it too,
because it was just so good. But I'm hesitant though, only because, I referenced a Canon event, so I can't exactly just start spending all this money. And I'll be amazed if I only see Mission Impossible 7 once in the theater.
Yeah, you might want to save your extra money for that.
Yeah, because
that I think that's a 2 minimum.
Yeah, well, because I'm already I've almost finished the entire run, although I skipped 2. No. I skipped 3. That's right. This time around I skipped 3 because I just watched.
Oh, you did 2.
I did. Because 2 is one of those ones where I'm like, am I unfairly hating on this? And no.
The answer is yes.
No.
He is.
No.
It's a beautiful product of its time, and I love living there every now and then.
You shouldn't, but you can't. Like I don't feel like you should be able to get away with saying it's a good movie because it's a product of its time.
It's a great movie. It's a great movie.
But only if
you got Cruise's flowing locks. You got the doves. You got the explosions. You got the mountain climbing with the music.
Here's my newest take.
You got Anthony Hopkins.
Here's my newest take on Mission Impossible 2.
Okay.
Okay. It is still the worst Mission Impossible for me.
Mm.
Very, very close with Mission Impossible 3, though.
Mm.
Okay.
At least I was able to bump 3 down for him.
It was always gonna get bumped. The more I watch it, the more I'm like, oh yeah. It's very made for TV movie.
Very made for TV.
Very made for TV movie. The only reason why it's not completely the last on the list is because of the introduction of the Julie character.
Mm-hmm.
So then you get the idea that on some level Ethan wants to have a normal family life.
Yeah, yeah.
So it's kind of like that Captain America thing where he now you realize he can't have it, right? And then of course because they thread it into Ghost Protocol and then in Fallout, then it's just like okay. However, Mission Impossible 2 is probably one of the most pure John Woo movies out there. Okay.
Gotta love the John Woo.
Yeah, like it's not his best because I mean, Face Off and
Broken Arrow.
No. I was gonna go with
Hard Target.
No, Hard Boiled.
Oh, Hard Boiled.
I was gonna go with actually.
You weren't gonna go with the Van Damme movie.
No, I wasn't gonna go with any of his other American movies because Hard Boiled's fucking.
Hard Boiled's amazing.
And Killer. Killer's another one.
Yep.
With Chai and Fat.
Yep.
Both really, really well. Hard Boiled is fucking like.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, this like aside from no actual like bloody deaths, this is the most pure like John Woo flick you've ever.
Yeah.
Broken Arrow is good. Like I like Broken Arrow.
Broken
I
Arrow.
Still really like Broken Arrow.
Yeah. But I see what you mean. Like this is way more John Woo than Broken Arrow.
Yeah. Well, because that like Broken Arrow was his first American movie.
Nope, Hard Target.
Oh no, that's right. Hard Target. Hard Target's okay.
Yeah.
It's okay. It's I've watched it a couple of times since the first time, and and it's always just like, you know what? I'll say it. It's a product of its time.
It's a product of its time.
It's a product of its time.
JCVD.
But you know, it's
chase that down with some Time Cop and Street Fighter.
No, but Time Cop, yes.
Time Cop,
yes. Street Fighter. That's the only reason why I ever watch any clips of Street Fighter is strictly for Raul Julia.
Yeah.
Because when he goes,
he killed it.
He does that thing where he's just like, for you, it was the most significant day of your life, but for me, it was just another Tuesday. And I say that just another Tuesday line every once in a while just to see who picks up on it. Because I said that to Michelle the other day. She's just like, she said something, and I was just like, yeah, I know, but like for you, that's just another Tuesday. And she's like, the fuck does that mean? And I was
it was Thursday.
What and I was like, oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
It's a line from a movie that you would have never seen and you'll never watch. And I shouldn't have said it. Because you don't get the context.
Yeah.
And she's just like, okay. All right. I'm like, yeah, I'm sorry I made it weird. I'm really sorry. But yeah, that's it though, because that fucking movie is so bad. Like even regardless of the fact that Jean-Claude Van Damme played
the most American man ever.
Yeah, like
with a French accent.
Like they didn't even
like.
Okay, to be fair, if it wasn't for his very French face, body wise, he looks like Guile.
Yeah.
Okay, like he's got that fucking stocky physique. Yeah. They dyed his fucking hair.
That made it all better.
They dyed his fucking hair. But like they picked but he could have played Ken.
Yeah.
Or no, sorry, he could have played Ryu, which most of the games center around Ryu and Ken.
You wanted the white guy to play Ken? Or Ryu?
Well, you could kind of say that he might be.
Okay. Well, you could do Ken and Ryu though.
Well, what I'm saying is you could have Van Damme be Ryu and just say he was raised in a French household.
But Ken's the white one.
Yes, Ken's the white one.
So Ryu's the Asian one.
Yes.
You want Van Damme to play the Asian?
Yeah.
Okay. You're right. It was the early 90s. That would have been all right.
The reason I'm saying that is because we're shitting all over him playing Guile, but Ken's also American, so it'd be the same fucking thing.
Yeah, but he's not the all-American like Guile.
Okay. Right. Yeah.
I would have been all right with Ken.
Yeah, okay,
It should have been Ken and Ryu as the leads anyway.
Well, it should have been. 100%.
Not Guile.
100% it should have been.
Yeah.
But
Chun-Li, awesome.
Chun-Li, yeah. Chun-Li was awesome.
Yeah.
Was it Hakim or Jackim or whatever the Brazilian? He was in there too. He was the camera guy.
Yeah.
Fucking ridiculous. E Honda was also part of the camera crew.
Right.
That's right.
Baraka was in there.
Blanca, you mean? Although Blanca was terrible. He
Blanca.
looks cool. He
Not
looks
Baraka.
fucking
Baraka's
cool.
Mortal Kombat.
He looks fucking cool, but until he moved, and then it was just like, oh yeah.
As soon as he moved.
Raul Julia as M. Bison, strangely enough, was awesome.
Yeah.
Like, aside from the fact that
physically
he didn't look like
anything.
Like, they couldn't put prosthetics on him or anything like that to like make him look like a fucking man.
Oh, you look like a little thin man.
Still, he looked pretty fucking awesome. They all said Sagat. That's right. Sagat was in there too.
Yep, Sagat. Vega was in there.
Vega, that's right. Yeah. Zangief.
Yep.
They had most of the core cast.
Cammy,
yeah, because
I gotta watch this again now.
Kylie Minogue's Cammy.
Yeah,
I might actually have to watch this.
It's probably gonna be awful, but I have to do it.
It
will be awful. There's no probably about it.
Horrible. But fuck yeah, we were gonna watch this. Yeah, totally. Anyway,
we just went into a full-on like Van Damme Street Fighter.
Oh yeah, because but anyway, yeah. So then it's so after 3, then it's 4, 5, 6,
and 4, 5, 6
because they just get better.
Oh yeah, they really do.
I can't wait.
Imagine how awful it would be to start at the last one and go backwards. Oh, these just get worse.
Yeah. Well, actually, no, because well, for me, because
6, 5,
4.
I mean, perfect. 4, good. 3.
4 is really good, actually. Like
4 is really good.
Especially
4 is really good
because you're following 3.
I loved 4 for the longest time, but I was also coming off 3, so it was not really hard to love 4.
Yeah. Like.
But then 5 came out. I was like, oh, this is so much better than 4.
Yeah. Oh yeah. And 4, like the more I watch 4, the more I'm like 4 is actually really good.
Mm-hmm.
The weak parts are Paula Patton.
Mm-hmm.
And only because they don't do anything with her afterwards.
No, nothing.
So they do all this character work for her.
Yeah.
And establish that this is going to be the new IMF team moving forward.
Yeah.
And then nothing. Like
and
they don't go.
Renner. They wrote Renner off after 2.
Yeah, but
I'd like to see him come back for the last one.
I'm actually kind of thinking
if he's secretly in part 2 of Dead Reckoning, I'd be pretty happy.
I think he is. I was surprised about Hannah Waddingham. She's in the 8th.
Yeah.
I was surprised by that casting, so I'll be interesting to see what she does in that one.
Mm-hmm.
She's phenomenal. Of course, the Ted Lasso cast is phenomenal. Period.
Oh yeah.
I haven't finished it yet. We just finished episode 11.
I'm just going to start 3 now.
Oh yeah, because
I haven't started season 3 yet.
Oh yeah, I forgot you haven't started that yet.
I'm pumped.
I'm already preparing myself.
My
to
brother,
have, like, a happy
my brother watched
filled...
it, like finished it.
He told me,
and then he ordered 2 of the Ted Lasso McFarlane figures.
He told me, yeah. He told me. He told me.
I'm gonna open one and keep one sealed.
He told me about the one. He didn't tell me that he was getting 2, but that's fucking funny.
That's funny. He's on a kick, starting it over again.
Honestly, though,
it's such a feel-good show, and it's relatable.
It's a feel-good show, but it's also a well-written show.
It's well-written,
and it's not like it's not like it glosses over dark things or dark subject matter. No problem.
And that's what makes it relatable.
Exactly.
Like when he gets that panic attack for the first time, I'm like, dude, been there.
Yeah, well, I have never, but still, it was one of those. So when I seen it, I was like, oh, he's having a panic attack.
When the ambulance took me to the hospital from work, panic attack.
Yeah.
Feels just like a heart attack. It's great.
Yeah. And then you have the, on top of that, you have the embarrassment of having the doctor go, it's just a panic attack. Bitch.
Yeah. Bitch. So, wait a minute. The symptoms are the same as a heart attack? Yes. I'm like, so what? I'm having a heart attack. Well,
it's kind of a crapshoot, you little bitch.
Come here.
Because I know it's not because it's not a heart attack.
Yeah.
You're a bitch. So walk it off.
Yep.
I'm not going to say that again. I said that enough last time. It was close. I almost did.
Yeah.
But it's just because like I look at it and like that's why I'm saying like I like that they don't like cover like paint like bright paint over the dark stuff. They talk about it, but they talk about it like in a positive thing.
Yeah.
You know, and I look at it and I go like, man, like because like if you think about it, like my dad, for instance, he had all these like mental health issues, right? And because he and it's my mom too, all these mental health issues, but they were both raised in a time period where there wasn't you were either normal, and if you talked about mental health issues, you were crazy. So and then the in between was walk it off.
Yep.
You know, put some dirt on it. If you were a man, what are you, a woman? Not to continue saying that word, but like because I was gonna say faggot again. But I mean that was part of it.
That was part of it.
You know,
that was 100% part of it.
You know, and honestly, I do think a lot of the backlash about being gay is tied into who's the woman in the relationship, who's the one that takes the dick, right? Because then on the hierarchy, well, then the guy who does the fucking is the man. So naturally, the one that gets fucked is the woman. So there's no equality. So even in a gay relationship, when they're both men. Right, but regardless of that, so if my dad was in a position where now, like we talk about mental health, and like in perspective, I know that if I was struggling, and for whatever reason I didn't feel like I could talk about it with Michelle, which is insane, but for whatever reason I could call you up or I could text you and just say, I'm having a hard time, I'm struggling, you know. And then you would be like, okay, let's do something.
Yep.
Let's hang out. And I know that because I've done that for you. Hey, man, I'm having a hard time. I don't know about doing a Camcast. What about a video game night? What about a movie night?
Yep.
What do we do? You know, like, you know, at some point we got to finish that movie documentary.
We fucking do.
Because that's another 14 hours that we got to get through. Because we're still.
What do you want to do? Let's start the longest documentary possible.
Because we're still.
Let's do it.
We haven't even finished the 80s yet.
No.
But that's the difference, right?
Yeah.
So like for my dad couldn't go to one of his buddies and be like, I'm having a real hard time. I'm struggling. Like hell, we hug each other almost all the time. My dad couldn't hug one of his buddies. He couldn't just be like, oh, hey, haven't seen you. Like, fuck, like, I saw you the weekend. I saw you at the theater the next day.
Yeah.
Hugs. Like, hug hello, hug goodbye.
You never know when a hug's going to be your last hug, so always hug.
Exactly.
Always hug.
So like, but he's in, you know, and so if he was born like, if he was now like, you know, we look at it and go mental health.
Yep.
So if he were to say, hey, I'm struggling, well then, you know, ideally one of his buddies would be like, all right, well, what's going on? Like, you want to talk about it? Or you want to just have a couple beers? You want to play some games? Like, what do you want to do? You know, that kind of thing. Anything to kind of just sort of reset yourself, get yourself back to center type of thing, right?
Exactly.
And I was like, well, like, how different would he be, right? Well, first of all, he probably would have had a correct diagnosis of what exactly was
earlier
wrong
in life.
with him,
Yeah, absolutely.
right? Because, like, I mean, to be fair, yeah, there wasn't as much talk about mental health, but at the same time, a lot of like just science in general is based on the information that we have now.
Yep.
We're going to treat you with this, and then something will come up and go, oh, hold on a second. Now we've got some new knowledge, so we can try this. Because, I mean, like, fuck's sakes, they were prescribing cocaine for pretty much anything.
Right? Yeah.
You know, like, hey, you're having a bad day? Have cocaine, which is great, by the way. You should always have cocaine when you're having a bad day, because you can't have a bad day when you're on cocaine.
Yeah.
But then it's like
doctor's orders.
Yeah, you're feeling very manic. Why don't you have some cocaine? Oh, okay. Sleeping troubles? Have cocaine. You're like, I don't know how this works, but sure.
Yeah.
I haven't slept in 3 days because of cocaine, but I'll have more. You know, so it's, you know, obviously it's a learning thing, and you gotta kind of walk before you run type of thing. But I love that we're in a period now. So I'm like, now, like years from now, like 5 years from now, maybe 10 years from now, it'll be more and more and just more and more of a thing, to the point where it's just like, okay, like yeah, I know there's boomers and anti-liberal sentiment against it. They're just trying to get back to the, you know, the glory days that we'll never get back to, because you can't.
Yeah.
You know.
So just deal with it.
But but like, so you're always going to have that person that's just like, oh, I don't fucking need help with anything. It's like, okay, well, you're going to die alone.
Yeah.
So,
There you go.
or you might live a very, very long life, but deep down you're not going to be happy.
Yeah.
You know? But yeah, so Ted Lasso first, like, shining light on that. But I saw this today and I thought it was funny, and I think we'll wrap it up after this, was in Ted Lasso, the relationship between Ted and Roy is the real life representation of the relationship of Superman and Batman. So you've got this super, like, upbeat optimist, and then you've got this fucking, I mean, you fucking all wears black. You know, so it's like, so now you can picture, like, say, Batman just making a Superman joke and just being like, oh, fuck, I've hung out with you too long. Like when Roy became a Diamond Dog, he died a little. He said it too. He pretty much said,
I love Roy. He's so great.
Everyone in that show is
that's
so
a really great way of putting it.
Yeah.
And then it makes me, at least, like, Superman, has he ever had a story arc where he's dealt with stuff like Ted Lasso?
Like, what do you mean?
Those darker feelings?
100%.
He's had panic attacks and stuff?
Not panic attacks, but so in pre-crisis continuity, he came across, like, there was 3 Kryptonians in the Phantom Zone.
Okay.
And I believe it was actually pre-crisis Zod, Ursa, and Nom. Nom. And he kills them.
Oh, does he?
Yeah. He kills them. And, like, up until that point, he had never killed anybody, anything, but it was that classic, like, if I don't, they're not going to stop.
Right.
So he kills them, but he doesn't just kill them and then go back to being Superman like nothing happened. He exiles himself. And he flies out, he leaves Earth and he goes into space, and he's just, like, wrestling with the fact that he went against the one rule he imposed upon himself.
Yeah.
And so he went through depression, self-doubt.
Really?
Yeah. Anger.
Very human.
Like, he was going through these steps, and then finally, I can't remember exactly how he does the switch, but he starts to realize, okay, but as long as I, you know, like, there might come a time where I may have to do that again. But only in those exact circumstances will I do that. You know? So it's not going to come back to Earth and start like, oh, you're a purse snatcher, dead. You know, like fucking Eradicator.
Yeah.
You know? Which he did. His first appearance, he killed a purse snatcher. Okay?
They were evil.
Exactly.
I mean, they weren't doing a very good thing.
So,
but...
you know, and the best writers will write Superman as a human because that's how he was raised. He knows he's an alien. He knows that he's a god amongst men, but he doesn't think of himself as that. Jeff Loeb, maybe not the greatest guy, period, but was for a while there a really good, real strong Superman writer.
Oh, I mean, and Loeb's not a bad writer.
No. He's dated
has some
now.
Bad ideas.
He's dated now.
He's dated. He's like Claremont. He's dated.
Exactly.
If I read a new Claremont story, I know it's going to feel old.
Right. Exactly. Which, okay, like, if you're in the mood for it, fine. But, you know, but, like, he has a line in Superman Batman, or I think it's Batman Superman, where Batman goes, you know, luckily for us, like, he talks about how, like, Superman, like, Clark is a god. Like, sometimes you forget he's a god, and then you see him, like, unleash fire from his eyeballs. You know? And he does all these things, like, he flies and he's like, he's a god, but luckily for us, he doesn't think of himself like that. And you're like, yeah, that's exactly it. He is a god for all intents and purposes, but thinks of himself as a man. So remember when I was talking about how when he died in the death of Superman, and his dad was like, dude, you can't die. You're not, this is what we believe. We put this on you, but you're not us. You're Kryptonian. So you don't have to accept this as your death. And it's like, yeah, okay, perfect. Right. So I think that's kind of like that mentality is that
Okay.
So the best writers are the ones that write them like that. So Mark Waid writes them like that.
Yeah.
Loeb writes them like that. Grant Morrison writes them like that.
Mhm.
Writes them like this god that.
And that's how I would write Superman.
Exactly.
Because that's what makes him interesting.
Exactly. And then when you give him these like the slice of life aspects, where you're like, yeah, okay, like sure he doesn't have to worry about eating or money really,
yeah.
But at the same time, this is a guy that all he ever wants is for everyone to be happy, and I mean everybody.
Yeah.
Like, do you know how badly he wants Lex to just be like, you know what? I don't want to be a criminal anymore. I want to be a good guy. I want to use my intellect, my power, and my money to help people. He'd be like, I fucking hit the jackpot. I finally got through to Lex Luthor. Now, let's go to the next guy.
Because
that's
totally the way to do it. Yeah, Kryptonite could kill him.
Yep.
But being raised as a human, there's a multitude of things that can break them.
Exactly.
And that's what makes a character interesting.
Right.
If they just go through everything invincible, then
but even something as simple as like, oh well, he's too powerful. So then some people will think, let's throw a really big, huge monster type bad guy at him. It's like, yeah, okay, you could do that, but why not have a situation where he's got to fight this big bad guy plus save a bunch of people? You add people in there. Then that's the conflict, because he's got to fight this while at the same time saving them, trying to minimize as much damage that this thing is going to do, while at the same time trying to figure out how to stop this without killing it.
Yep.
And possibly reasoning with this thing or bad guy or whatever, because that's the other thing that a lot of people don't realize is, or at least they don't touch upon, is a lot of times he's trying to reason with the bad guy to just say, hey, you don't really want to do this. Look, if you stop now, I will help you. I'll do whatever I can. Spider-Man, same thing. Even Batman, when they write Batman the best way, they'll have stories where Batman takes down the criminal, but then on the parole board, who's sitting there? Bruce Wayne. Because he wants to see if he gives that guy a chance, that maybe he might turn his life around. That's not hard. But anyway, so to wrap things up.
With a bow.
With a bow tie.
Oh, yes.
With a bow tie. Across the Spider-Verse is a pure Spider-Man movie, and currently one of the best Spider-Man movies out there. Period.
One of the best comic book movies ever.
And also one of the best comic book movies ever. And the easy answer is, if you like the first, you'll like the second. Yeah, 100%. If you didn't like the first, you're probably going to like the second one, though, because it's fucking awesome.
Also, if you didn't like the first,
check yourself.
Before you wreck yourself.
Or at least in the comments, let me know what you didn't like about it, why you didn't like it. I'll tell you you're wrong, but I'll try to be nice about it. Also, Ted Lasso. There we go. There we go. And, same old. Thank you so much for watching us on YouTube.
Yep.
Thank you so much for watching us on Twitter, on Facebook, on Instagram. Thank you so much for listening to us on SoundCloud, Apple and Google Podcasts, Audible, and Spotify. And thank you for checking us out on geekpantsmedia.com, because we really appreciate all the support. Like, you honestly have no idea how much we appreciate the support, because we're doing what we want to do. And you guys are allowing us to do this. And
we've had 2 viewers with us all night, so thank you very much.
Thank you very much. We didn't scare you away with the wrestling talk. That's awesome.
Yeah, or all the weird sex stuff.
Oh, yeah, there was a little bit of that, eh?
Yeah, there's always a little weird sex stuff.
Yeah, there is. We got an issue with weird sex stuff.
2 people like it, so that's all that matters.
Maybe they crave it. Okay, all right. Yes, that's it. That's it. See you guys next time.
Have a wonderful night.
Take care.
Bye-bye.
These pancakes are delicious.